manage from here because
Yeah, please go ahead, please.
okay. Because I'm told the time is short because we are clubbing us 2 sessions and the lunch is also not too far. So I will be quick in finishing of my time slot. So honorable friends on the dais, Mr. Chawla and Mr. Kumar, Mr. Shriram, and dear ladies and gentlemen. Let me first thank the IPPI for giving an excellent opportunity to participate in this event to discuss and debate one of the most important current issue of introducing ancillary services market in Indian electricity sector and sharing thoughts, experience of national as well as international intellectuals, experts, policy makers, regulators, users, system operators, implementers and other stakeholders in power markets. In this particular session, as we have given a specific assignment to discuss and share thought on accounting and settlement mechanism for ancillary services, and with the topics like policy framework, national, regional and state level, empowerment of SLDCs and RLDCs, integration of settlement mechanism with GUI mechanism, enabling regulatory interventions required for the proposed framework. My friend Mr. Chawla has already given a detailed account on the ancillary services that cover the role of RLDCs, SLDCs and what are the prospective views on the this upcoming topics on ancillary services. So I will not repeat, and my friend Mr. Roop Kumar from Delhi Transco, he will be debating on empowerment of SLDCs, which is very much required at this stage. So I will be only concentrating on few specific topics. Myself, let me tell, I am a system operator in charge SLDC in Punjab and have been closely associated with upcoming issues, challenges in handling power system with its peculiar characteristics of vast and load variations during winter, summer and agricultural load specific to Punjab in the paddy season, varying from 4,000 megawatt goes up to 10,000 megawatt. I would like to share my thoughts, what are floating on my mind. After listening and going through the material provided and the honorable delegates today and yesterday. Punjab SLDC have been the coming to the ancillary services. Let me say the ancillary services, but I feel it's more or less similar to the open access, which has been which is also debated as new mechanism about 10 and 15 years back, but now it's a reality. Like ABT and GUI mechanism, so open access was also a major step towards pushing up the power markets, trading and scheduling on a day-to-day basis. Similar to the open access, I see ancillary services mechanism also look forward to tap the untapped spare capacity utilization generation as well as transmission for achieving the ultimate objective of reliability, availability and economics of marginal cost, thereby helping the consumers in terms of cost saving, and which is definitely cheaper than the regulated tariff and also supporting the grid-wide supplement in the meeting the demand. Punjab SLDC has been the forefront in operationalizing the open access, and since it was introduced by the Electricity Act in 2003, Punjab was one of the first major states to go in for intrastate open access regulations in 2005. And for handling large volume of open access in the state, both for sellers and purchasers and mostly through collective transactions, we have introduced many IT applications to handle the UA energy count, which is a very tough area, and to develop a transparent consumer interface portal for which IX they have supported us, and we are very thankful to them. So, like in open access, the consumers are, whereas in the open access, the consumers are directly involved in bidding and making transactions through power exchange. In case of ancillary services, consumers may not be directly involved in day-to-day market transactions, so it is left to the system operators, that is RLDCs and SLDCs, to plan and requisition the services on their behalf and to meet its commitment. Therefore, the role and responsibility of the system operator, load dispatcher, is of utmost importance. As such, regulators and policy makers must keep the empowerment of SLDCs and RLDCs in mind while framing the regulations, policies and the ancillary services. SLDC at state level must be insulated from the influence of external factors And like everywhere it has been referred as an independent system operator, but it is in the true sense it's not independent in the context of India. We call it ISO as an Indian system operator. It's not an independent system operator. So there is a need for highly trained, knowledgeable, skill base to be and capacity building in the SLDC with the IT support to handle the services like open access and upcoming ancillary services mechanism. And nevertheless, that accurate load forecasting, this is the one major issue that we have been talking about for utilities. I mean, for ancillary services success, this for load forecast is important. So, but I feel, I mean, that DISCOM, that power utilities, they need a support to have some state-of-the-art load forecasting mechanism. Since such kind of tools are very costly, so it can be handled at the central level, at the RLDC level, or as I requested at the exchange level, so that will be great help, and that will fasten the process to operationalize this ancillary services as we look forward. As in case of open access, the settlement mechanism through RLDC power exchange is the most reliable and workable solutions in the state's power utilities. They have been defaulting on UM mechanism as we have been seeing in the past. So as an alternative, a corpus fund like UI pool account with state escrow account security mechanism can be considered at the regional level for ensuring payments to the generators and service providers in case of ancillary services. Ancillary services, there will be charges like transmission and payment to the generators and SLDC charges. Right. I mean, this will be decided by the regulators as the time comes. In case of ancillary services, we also foresee the issues like transmission constraints, congestion in the network system that will be there, so we need to address as it exists now. So while in case of open access, as we have been watching, so in case of ancillary services also we have to address the same issues of decongesting creating more inter-regional lines and intrastate lines and interstate lines as well. This ancillary services, in fact, it's already in place. I mean, as we have been seeing the last paddy, when we were overdrawing Punjab and other states, that NLDC used to book us the liquid power, LNG power, at the costly one at their own. So that is a case, but that is going to happen in case of ancillary services. This is already there, and we are getting that payment mechanism through the regional energy account from NRPC as a part of the bills. So this is what I am sharing today. So in some way it is already being applied, ancillary services. So same thing can be expanded and can be some regulations as we foresee that they can also take a clue from what have been doing, I mean, in NRDC in the past. So demand another last area, the demand participation by consumers in case of ancillary services, but I see it's an important area. The consumers can also play an effective role in ancillary services system support by curtailing their load or deferring their demand to high frequency time zone and through power saving, since as we know that 1 unit power saving is equivalent to 1.25 power unit generation. So that is what the alternate energy is available by the consumer support is there. Thus voluntary power saving or managing or rescheduling the demands can also be one of the area for alternate energy options. For this, real-time information on system frequency need to be provided to the consumers so that they are more frequency friendly, and by encouraging them to have frequency devices like household clocks and propagating frequency display, or maybe on the TV channel and like time clock display as of now. So consumers may also be commercially benefited. That commercial mechanism also can be thought of like TOD or multi-layer tariff. So in the end, I once again thank the organizers of this wonderful event, and which I believe would go a long way in further strengthening the power markets as well as supporting the grid management operations in the secure and efficient manner. Thanks.